Welcome to class. We're going to start today in a child's pose. So come to the back of your mat, sitting your butt back on your heels, knees spread wide, head to the ground. You can tent your fingers here or just have them flat. Just taking a second to land here on the mat. Starting your ujjayi breath, if that's part of your practice, constricting the back of the throat with the inhales and exhales, breathing in and out through the nose. Now push firmly into both hands down into the mat. Thumbs, index fingers, pinky fingers activated into the ground. And come forward to all fours. So we're on hands and knees. Push the floor away. You can feel your shoulder blades activating outwards. Tuck your toes under. And now we're just going to do some scribbling, basically, with the rib cage and the pelvis. Go in any direction you want. Taking big breaths just to get into your spine and your pelvis. Just close your eyes while you do this in case you feel weird. It's just about waking everything up. Come back into center. Activate your core so your belly button goes towards your spine. Now we're going to do some cat-cows. So tilt your pelvis, lift your chest, exhale, push away. Inhale, exhale. Go at your own pace with your own breath here. In your cow pose, really try and get the back of your head towards the back of your butt as if they're trying to kiss, and then push away. Magnetize your pubic bone towards your head. Couple more here. And on your next cow, come back. Sit on your heels, really active. And then come forward for your cat pose. Backwards to the cow, forward, cat. Exhale back. Inhale, come forward. Now switch your hands so your fingers face towards you. And we're going to do that same movement again. So activate your core. Tilt your sit bones back. Inhale. Exhale, come forward. Arch your back forward. Inhale back. Let your wrist come off the floor. Come forward. And now just sit back on your heels, letting your wrist sort of stretch up like this. Just take some deep breaths here, waking the wrists up. Come forward, flip your wrists back, and just rock on the wrists, making little circles just to warm them up more. Switch directions. Now, put your knees together, come back to sit on your heels, and you're gonna have your toes tucked under. If this is too much, then just sit on your heels without tucking your toes. Might have to use the fingers to get the pinky toes out. And just sit on your heels, close your eyes. Take some big deep breaths here. And just try to land, waking up the bottoms of the feet. All right, come back to all fours. Now we're gonna lift up our right hand towards the sky, twisting, and then twist that right arm all the way through to the ground. Putting your right ear onto the ground. You can lift your left hand up and tuck it into your groin and just sit here, close your eyes, feel this nice twist. Place the left hand down. Bring that right arm all the way back up to the sky. And switch sides. Inhale, lift the left arm up, twist. Exhale, through to the ground. Left ear down. Right arm up. You can tuck it into that left groin. Sit here and enjoy this twist. Good. Place the right hand down. Back to all fours. Now we're going to push back into that active child's pose again. Come back up to all fours in a crunch here. Now bring your knees together. Come back to a neutral spine. Your knees are already on the ground, so you're just going to bend your arms and bring your chest down with your chin. With your chest down here, activate your toes. Try and grab your hands behind your butt. Stretch up. Hands down, feet down. Undulate the spine, so tuck your tailbone in. And then wave forward to a cobra pose. Take a couple deep breaths here. Tuck your toes under. Push back to that active child's pose again. Good. Now, come back to all fours. Bring the knees about hip width apart. We're going to do puppy pose. So walk the hands down in front of you. Keep your knees and your hips in line. And just stretch out to puppy pose here. Good. Press your hands down. Walk yourself back up slowly. And come into downward facing dog. So in down dog, bend your knees a little bit, a micro bend. Tilt your pelvis to the sky, that little bend. Push out from your shoulder sockets so you're not sinking into your shoulder blades. Push out. All 5 fingers suction to the mat. Activate your toes. Knit your rib cage in so it's not splayed out. So there's a little bit of magnetization between the pubic bone and the sternum while keeping that pelvic tilt to the sky. Just take a few more deep breaths here. All right, step the feet together. We're going to do some sun salutations to warm up a bit. So, lift the heels, look forward, bend the knees, step or float or hop forward. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, swing up to the sky. Exhale, hands to chest in prayer. Inhale, lift up, hips come forward. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, plant the hands, step, hop, or float back. Chaturanga, upward dog, inhale. Exhale, back to downward dog. Again, lift the heels, look forward, bend, step, hop, or float forward. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, reach up to the sky. Exhale, hands to prayer. Inhale, lift to the sky, hips forward. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, step, hop, or float back. Chaturanga, upward dog, downward facing dog. Again, inhale, look forward, step, hop, float. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, up to the sky. Exhale, hands to prayer. Inhale, reach, lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, bend the knees, plant the hands, step, hop, jump. Upward facing dog, inhale. Exhale, downward facing dog. Okay, good. Take some deep breaths here. On the next inhale, lift the left leg up, keeping your hips square. So you should see your left pinky toe when you look down to it. It should be pointing downwards. Feel a big stretch in your right leg. Now we're just going to do some big hip circles with this leg. It can be straight or bent. Just going really slow, getting the hip warm and getting that circulation going. A couple more like this. Now on your next one, swing the leg through all the way across, open up to fallen triangle. Hand comes, right hand up to the sky, then bring it to the back of your head. Right hand down to the floor. Bring that foot back. Tiger curl, knee to nose. Downward facing dog. Good. Now, inhale, right leg up to the sky. Hip stays square. Look down, you should see your right pinky toe facing down. Then you can begin those big hip circles. Going as fast or as slow as you want. Now on your next hip circle, tuck the knee in, swing it across towards the left side of the mat. Right foot comes out, fallen triangle. Left hand to the sky. Then left hand comes behind the head. Take some deep breaths here. Let your head rest in your hand. Left hand comes down. Pick up your right foot and bring your knee to your nose. Tiger curl. Back to downward facing dog. Now, inhale, bring your left leg up. Open your hip and bend your knee. Open to the side. Just feel that stretch here. Bend your right leg as well, just to get it really grounded. Now, Swing that left leg over your quad, so you're in a sort of figure 4 downward facing dog. Might feel a bit tight on the hips because it's the first one. It's a bit of an awkward one. Now, come up on the right toes, swing onto the side of your right foot and bend your knee. So we're kind of on your right, almost in a side plank with a figure 4. Bend your right knee while you're in that figure 4. You can sort of use your left hand on your head just to really bend in here. And swivel around to the other side. So you're on the inside of your right arch. And bend again. And just bend here, really deep. Keep your right hand on your head, or you can just have it down here, sort of shielding your face. Stretch over, so straighten your right leg and right arm. So you're in a big arch. Now, take your left foot off your quad and swivel it behind your right leg. Bend your right leg and see if you can just scoop it through. See if you can just balance here, really low. Then come back, bend your left leg, and try and go the other side. So your left leg swoops through, really deep bend on your right leg. Good, and come back, right hand down, back to downward facing dog. Okay, inhale, lift the right leg up. Bend the knee, open the hip. Bend that left leg a little bit as well. Okay, now, same thing on this side. So, scoop that right leg in to a figure 4. Figure 4 down dog for a hot second. Feel that hip sort of waking up. Now, up on your left toe, swivel your foot to the knife edge of your left foot. Lift that right arm off and just do a deep bend here. Right hand sort of chilling on the back of the head, or you can have it just shielding your face. Now, right hand down, swivel to the other side, inside of your left foot. Now, lift that right leg off your quad, swoop it behind, straight, then bend your left leg. And just sort of stay here. We're going to try and do the other side. Swoop in, bend your right knee, then straighten it out in front. Good. Bend that knee, come into that figure 4, and stretch and arch over. Good. Left hand down, swivel, back to downward facing dog. Bring your knees down. Sit back onto your heels. Toes can be tucked or untucked. Place your hands in your lap and just take some deep breaths here. Sort of reset everything. Okay, open your eyes. Hands down, back to downward facing dog. Now, inhale, lift that left leg up onto your right toes. Curl your left leg to your nose and step to a lunge. Now, hands come forward, tented in front of you. Shuffle your left leg in onto the knife edge of that left foot. Let your knee swing out. Pop up off your back knee, and then just bend as deep as you can, keeping your butt sort of buoyant and lifted off the ground. And just bend as much as you can, keeping that back leg very active, very strong. Keep those toes active. Bend as far as you can. Keep that back leg real strong. And come up. Walk that left foot out to the side. Drop that back knee down. Elbows down to the ground if you can. If not, stay up on your hands. Untuck the back toe. And now lean on your right elbow. Swoop your arm up to grab your back leg. Big quad stretch here. Activate your back toes into your hand. Come out of it. Come up onto your hands. Now drop that back knee in closer towards your butt. Swivel that foot off to the left side of your mat. And now we're going to come up and stretch that left leg and just into a side stretch this way. Tent up onto your right hands and then try and use that energy to just push off and stretch over to the other side. Good. Now just swoop back into all fours and come into downward facing dog or to the other side. Right foot up onto your left toe. Tiger curl in, step into a lunge. Hands forward, tenting on those fingers. Shuffle that right foot into the midline and come onto the knife edge of it. Lift up the back knee and then bend forward, keeping that back leg real strong and your butt quite buoyant. And bend as far as you can, just sort of looking forward off your mat. Really getting into the hip here. Good. Now come up, drop that back knee. Walk your foot out to the side, your right foot. Come down onto your elbows if it's accessible. If not, stay up on your hands. Swing the right arm. Meet it with the back foot. Activate your back left toes and stretch that quad. Relax. Come out of it. Now bring that left knee back in towards your butt a bit so it's a smaller stance. Swing your left foot off the right side of your mat. Now you're going to stretch that right leg just straight and stretch over this modified side plank stretch. Big stretch over. Now tent your left hand and then push off that left finger. Come to stretch on the other side with your right arm down your right leg. Good. Hands back down to the floor, swoop that left leg back, come into downward facing dog. Just sort of walk the dog out here. Do whatever you need. Okay. Inhale, lift that left leg up. Keep your hips square. Open the hip, bend the knee, stretch it out here. Now swoop that bent leg to in front of your thigh into that figure four position. And then keep going to the the inside arch of your right foot. And then bend down, shield your face. Do this nice bend again. Now come right back. We're going to swoop around all the way over into Wild Thing. Slowly, slowly. Hand behind your skull, Rest in Wild Thing. Couple breaths here. Now activate your core. Come to a side plank. Lift your left leg up, so you're sort of in a crunch here. And bring your leg all the way to the front. Try and keep it lifted as much as you can. Step forward to a lunge. Back knee onto the ground. Swoop your arms up. Magnetize your back knee and your front foot towards each other. Stretch here. Both hands behind the head. Look up to the sky. Inhale. Exhale, come back. Hands plant to the ground. Stretch both legs, not to completely straight. Keep a micro bend in both. Now just make sure your butt has room to wiggle around with both your legs bent. Once you get those hips square, then you can sort of bring the legs to straight and forward fold here. Inhale, straighten the spine. Exhale, fold. Inhale, straight spine. Exhale, forward. Now we're going to swoop to the right side of the mat into a forward fold. So come forward, both legs straight. Grab both ankles. Bend your knees slightly so your pelvis can tilt towards the sky. And big forward stretch here. Plant the hands down. Straighten the spine. Lean into the left leg so it's bent. And then come slowly, slowly into skandasana on that side, left leg bent. If it's accessible, put your left hand down, sort of tuck your left bicep into the left leg, plant it down, straighten that right arm to the sky. If you want to take it further, you can do a bind. So swoop that left arm behind you, and that bottom hand is what's going to grab the right wrist. Twist up to the sky if it's accessible. If not, look down if it hurts too much or if it's not comfortable. Good. Come out of that. We're going to come into a left forward lunge facing the front of the mat. Straighten both legs. Tent your fingers. Push the floor away. Push, push, push so much that your left leg comes off the ground and you go back into downward facing dog. Okay, other side. Right leg lifts up, hips are square. Open the hip, bend the knee. Stretch it out here. Now swoop that right leg to the front of the left thigh into a figure 4 position. Now continue up on that left ball of your foot to the inside arch of your foot and then bend down here. Just rest. Hand can go behind your head or shielding your face. Now left hand down, swoop to the other side, up on that left ball of your foot. Come into a wild thing on the other side. Rest your skull in your hand. Take some big deep breaths here. Activate the core. Lift that right leg up, sort of in a crunch here, and come forward to a lunge. Keep that right leg lifted. And step as quiet as you can. We're in a low lunge, back leg down. Swoop the arms up. And rest forward, keeping your back knee and your front leg magnetizing toward each other so you don't sink down, but you're activated and pushing down at the same time. Hands come to the ground, tented fingertips, and lift the hips up to straighten both legs.
Keep both legs micro bent so you can sort of wiggle your butt around until you find a spot where you feel your hips are square. Once you feel your hips are square, you can push them to a little bit more straight, the legs, but keep them a bit micro bent, and then forward fold down. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, breathe down. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, forward fold down. Now, swoop your whole body to the left side of the mat so your legs stay straight and you're in a wide-legged forward fold. Grab ankles. Bend your legs a bit so your pelvis can shoot towards the sky. Then work your legs towards straight with that position. Now grab the left ankle with the right hand and the left ankle with the right, and see if you can bring your body twisted through in this position. Your hands might not be at the ankle, might be just below the knee like mine. And just get that stretch. And untwist yourself here. Bring your hands forward. Okay, other side. Right hand grabs your left ankle. Left hand grabs your right calf and twist through slowly, slowly. Untwist. Bring both hands to the floor, flat back. Inhale, exhale, fold down. Now we're bending into the right leg. We're doing skandasana on the other side. So bend into the right leg. You can turn the right toes out a bit and come down into skandasana on the right side. Take some deep breaths here. Notice if one side feels different than the other. It's completely fine. Now, scoop your right bicep, or tricep rather, into that right leg. Plant that right hand out away from you and lift your left hand to the sky. If you want to do a bind, you can swoop that right leg behind you, bring that left hand down, and the right hand grabs the left wrist. You can look up to the sky or down to the ground, whatever's more comfortable and accessible. Take some deep breaths here. Release the bind. Bring both hands to the front. Now we're in a forward fold pyramid again. Tent both your fingers. Push, push, push the floor away. Forward body to back body. Push so much with your core activated that your right leg lifts off the sky, off the mat, and into downward facing dog. And bring both knees down to the ground. Sit back on your heels, toes tucked or untucked, and just breathe. Gently blink your eyes open. Sit up off your feet. Stay up on the knees. Bring them about hip distance apart. Hands can be either with fingers pointing downwards or facing up on your sacrum, whatever is more comfortable. Now breathe up and exhale back slowly, pushing the hips forward into camel pose. Inhale, chest comes up, sort of tuck your chin towards your chest, push your hips forward with your hands, and exhale, arch back further, keeping that
activation. Inhale, breathe up with the chest. Push your hips forward. Exhale, back further. If you want to drop your hands to your ankles, you can do that, or you can just stay here. Leaving the head back, tilt your pelvis back, come to sit back down on your heels. Head comes back last. We're going to come back, lay down on our backs now. Lay down onto your back. Knees bent so your toes can tickle the backs of your heels. Come into a bridge pose. Push the feet into the floor, lift the hips up. Now tuck those arms underneath, one shoulder at a time. Push away. Push those feet into the floor. Really push them away from you and see if that can bring your chest up the more you push. We're going to come into a wheel, optional. So bring your hands right behind your ears. Rest onto the top of your head very lightly and then push away. Just keep it really chill. Feel your hands pushing away from the earth and your feet activated into the floor. Keep your inner thighs activated towards each other. Inhale, exhale. On your next inhale, you can bend the knees, tuck your chin, butt comes back. Exhale, push forward on the shoulders. Try and straighten the legs. Inhale, bend the knees, tuck the chin, bend the knees so the butt comes out. Exhale, push forward, straighten the legs. Just massage your spine in this pose if you can. Tuck your chin, bend your arms and your legs and come down. Just let the knees buckle in towards each other and rest. Now hug the knees in. Hug the knees with your arms wrapped around them. Come really, really tight. Let that left leg go straight. Rest your head back to the floor and twist that right knee over to the other side. Right arm can either be straight or in a sort of goalpost position. You can look up to the ceiling or you can look away, whatever's more comfortable. Bring the right knee back towards you. Hug it, kiss your knee, switch sides. Tuck your chin into your knee and rest back. Inhale, and then exhale, twist to the other side. The left arm can be straight or in a goalpost. Try and rest that shoulder down. You can look to the left, or you can look up to the ceiling. Bring the knees back together. Come in really, really tight into a ball. Inhale here. Exhale, squeeze tighter. And inhale. And exhale, come out to Shavasana.
and stay here as long as you want and need.